All right, good evening. Had a little, just a little update on this thing. Uh, I don't know exactly what was in yesterday. Put the new cam in, put the timing chain on, which the dots are off a little bit. This is a roller timing chain, and it's got a roller back up behind here, plus the little links of rollers. Uh, it's turned off of the dots here and the other dots there, but it's turned off. It's in time. I was doing something to it and turned it, rotated it, cleaned the piston walls out more than anything. But I went in here and some time ago and ported these. They had sharp edges in them where the water goes. I actually went over all these corners and hit them and knocked off the burrs on all these little areas surrounding here. Everywhere on the block, something made it. I tried to knock off little sharp edges. I just went in just a few minutes ago and I took the air hose, which is this blower here, and stuck up inside this hole. That plug came out of it. Stuck it up inside here and had it sitting there, and that was holding it and was blowing air in there. And I had forgot about doing that, and I seen it yesterday, but I didn't. I come back in here again today, and I just took the burr bit on a drill, and with the air hooked up to it, and knocked that little sharp edge out of what's had a real bad turn in it, and I'm trying to make it turn pretty much as straight as possible to get to that oil pump. The oil pump goes on the front of this motor. That's LS 6.2. All the LS, they go on the front like this. Some of the LTs, they had the gear come off here when I done the water pump. But these ain't like that. But I went in there and knocked out all them sharp edges where the water turned, all that. But I had to deburr that because the way the oil comes in, it comes down this side, and this cap would be out of it, and they'd drill a hole all the way through the block that way, all the way back. And then they take a bit and go down this way, and up in this corner, you can see where the edge of the bit was at. And so when I got that turn out of it, at radius out, set with flow better. And I had to go get a new torque wrench today. My torque wrench I've been had for years. Down in these low settings, didn't act right. I knew I was putting well over 18 pounds on it, and it was still wasn't going click. So I bought a new one, bought a little 3/8 one for about $20. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty good, I guess. Just a little Harbor Freight. But I torqued these at 18 pounds, the back plate back on. I think I over torqued it, but I made sure they was torqued at 18 pounds. I think I did. And cam bolts that 20 have one. I got this is sprayed down with WD-40. I Loctited all the bolts. So all them's Loctite. I got to put some sealer and Loctite on that one, put that back in the block. This block is aluminum, so I ain't got to worry about that as far as rusting. This is just these walls in here. I'm going to spray brake cleaning it tomorrow and clean it all up, and then respray it back down to get the dust off of it. I cover it up, but you can see where I went in there and cleaned them water jackets out. So it'll flow better. It was some pretty ragged edges in there. But yeah. These you don't have to worry about the oil coming back down. I got the new plate to go on top of here to do the AFM and DOD delete. That's what I'm doing to the motor. One of the lifters stuck. But the reason it's off the motor stand is because I put that plate, new rear seal, the new little barbell right there for the oil passageway. The 5.3's got that little, well, it's only an oil pan, but because the oil comes down through here. Kind of getting used a little mixed up because 350s and 383s and 400s and stuff like that's what I normally mess with, but I went through here and cleaned all these bolt holes out with a thread chaser, not a tap, a chaser. It's made just like a bolt, but you could take a bolt and cut a couple little grooves in it and run that in and out, and that'll clean the hell out of it too. I don't know why people just don't use one of them. I just happen to have a chaser for those bolts, and those are all blind holes, so you can't worry about oil or water coming up through them anymore. And these blocks, but it's got a new cam in it. Got a new Texas Speed. Damn, did I disconnect? New push rod. So they sent that. New millings on. A little more pressure. I don't know whether I'm going to go high pressure or just about mid. I think it's about stock oil pressure. These motors, even when this one was stock, of course, we got idle, it go down to about 30. And then when the oil got towards the end of its life, it would go down to about 20. And that's pretty much what happened to this motor, is the oil pressure dropped down on it. On this side, normally I haven't bolted it. As a strainer. I just wish General Motors they took this and flipped it 90 degrees where your bolt holes over here would have been easy to get out. You wouldn't have to take your oil pan out when you do the cam swap inside the frame. Might drill these rivets out of here and get this off of there. They rivet the gasket on. Got to get that out. Got to check this pressure relief valve. Got to clean that. Got to clean up this pan a little bit more. That ain't quite ready to go back on. The windage tray, I'm going to clean it up a little bit more. It ain't too bad. The oil just stained the hell out of everything in it. And I don't know why I always run full synthetic. Last time I went with CallQuest, which is the same thing as Valvoline. At least that's what I was told. And that's what I normally runs, Valvoline, full synthetic in it. 5W30. There's a 750 carburetor I got to go through. Has a new lifter trays. Has a new valley pan. Dropping the bolts out of it. That's got the little O-rings around it. These bolts back up in there. But yeah, new header bolts. These we got off of eBay. I've used these about 4 or 5 different times on different motors. And on a 5.3 especially, 6.0, I mean the 6.0s and the 5.3s didn't do it too bad. I mean 6.0s and 6.2s didn't do it too bad. But they would break the bolt off up inside the head. And of course you'd have to weld that because the head's aluminum and the bolt's metal. You can weld it. I welded the washer to them and got them out. And welded the rod to it and turned it while it was up inside the vehicle. Turned it about whatever, break it off, re-weld it, turn it enough to where you get something on it to get it out. But yeah, all this stuff's got to get put on. I'm gonna suck some Amsoil break-in lube. I'm gonna take these bags and soak them lifters. I'm gonna soak them in the bag and set them up. Brand new lifters, brand new rocker arms. Those the old ones came off of it. Rock arm for the rocker arms. New timing chain cover. Let's see, it was the lifters in this. New head bolts. Brand new ones. That's the harmonic balancer bolt. All them's new. They say you can't reuse them, but you can reuse them. And the way you're supposed to tighten these, says it on the paper right there. You're supposed to tighten it up to, I think, 90 foot-pounds, I think. And then go additional, I'd have to look through here. Different motor. Go additional 90-degree turn. But I think it's about 90, I think. I'm gonna have to look at that again. But this, the parts came out of it. There's a cam came out of it. There's the them solenoids. And there's the lifter that's stuck. I probably could have unstuck it. I've seen people hit them with a hammer and unstick them, but screw that. One of these others was stuck, but it unstuck. By the time when I pulled the valve cover off of it, two of them was stuck. It was these two right here. I think it was this one and this one was stuck. And one of them unstuck by itself. But yeah, that's the ones that let it go into 4-cylinder mode. And that's the regular one. A lot of difference. The spring takes over and leaves the tension on these push rods. When it goes in that 4-cylinder mode, this lets oil through, shuts them down, opens these up, so them pistons don't do it. Got the heads reworked, new titanium keepers. It's all Texas speed. The springs for that cam. Put new valve guides in it, new valve seals. Shaved it a little bit, cleaned it up. Shaved them. And through the little research I've done, these 823s are good heads. I know the 423s are good heads. The 788s on the 5.3 or 799. 799, that's what's on my motor. Them's all good heads. To be factory heads. And then there's the old valve springs right there. This was a 1-bolt cam and put a 3-bolt back on it. That's the oil pump out of it. That's the old lifter trays. See the little holes on that side, the big holes on that side. Old timing chain, that's gone. The little spring tensioner, that's out of there. I didn't have to use that. There's the stuff in the bucket for that. Of course, I bagged all the bolts up for everything and labeled it, which this ain't labeled, but I know what that's for. Even kept the old head bolts, which they say they're only one use. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at today. More, and I got new lifters. That's the old ones, and they told me by the time I was going to order a trunnion set, which is this metal part where this thing rides on. By the time I ordered them and then pressed them out and set them back in with auger press or regular press, it was just cheap to buy new ones. These ain't so high. The offset ones, though, which ones cost so much money? I think it was $125 for the whole set. It wasn't too bad. Which, by the time I went through this motor, I'm within about, I think about $600 to what I could have just bought a crate motor. But I didn't have the money all at one time. And we bought all this little parts at a time, which Texas Speed stuff. I had to buy it all at one time. They didn't part it out. These extra tools I bought, that's to put the harmonic balance on. My regular 351 kit I got wouldn't work with it. Push rods had to be for this cam. Them lifters, all that had to match, which that's a good thing. The head gasket, and then the oil pan gasket. Timing chain covers, a different one of them. I don't think you can use the stock one with the kit I got. The new lifter, it used to be lifter tray. That's got to be different. Don't fall off. That's got to be different. The lifter trays got to be different. So, yeah. Pretty much all this come in the kit besides these bolts here and the rocker arms. Of course, the oil didn't come with it. But yeah, that's where we're at tonight. I'm gonna soak these lifters and I'm going to bed. So y'all have a good one. You know it is. Down here in the Carolinas. Later. Hello, James. Later. If I can figure out how to turn it off.